Welcome everyone to Lashes.Love.Tech. I am your host, hip hop engineer Kay Malcolm. As Vice President of Oracle Cloud Engineering and Operations, Christine is responsible for migrating data center services to the cloud. What does she do? Well, she turns legacy infrastructure into new OCI data center deployments. So her team partners with enterprise and development organizations across the company to evolve on-prem into native cloud solutions. Christine, welcome to the show.
Hello, nice to be part of the session today.
So Christine, you know I'm a hip hop instructor, and my most favorite thing to do with my friends is dance. Will you dance with me?
I would love to dance with you.
Yes! Staple. Wait. Turn. Yes. Turn. Yes. I love it. Oh my You are so fun. So Christine, my favorite question to ask women leaders is all about their superpowers. So let's start with that. If you could choose any superpower in the world, what would it be and why?
I think I would pick two things, actually. I would kind of spread it out a little bit. And I think my superpower that I would really like to choose is I would really like to have unlimited empathy as well as enthusiasm. So I feel very strongly that regardless of the job that any of us have, the ability for each of us to be able to truly listen to others, to truly understand different points of view, to truly be supportive to the differences that we each bring to the table is just that diversity of experience is so incredibly important for us, particularly to drive better collaboration, better success as far as innovation is concerned. And from an enthusiasm and energy standpoint, I feel like, what if everybody came to the table with a positive can-do attitude? What if everybody said, what if I am prepared to be all in on this, and I am prepared to learn, and I am prepared to not be so worried about all of the blockers and the barriers, but rather what is possible? What if we did these things? What if we did things in a way that wasn't the way we did it before? What would happen? And I think, it's hard these days, right? Because a lot of us get energy from being in the office with others or working directly with others, and we don't get as much of those opportunities as we may have had in the past. So, when you're on these long Zoom sessions and you're tempted to, sort of multitask and go read your email and go, do other things, I really like to practice focusing on what the other person is saying, but, being present, being mindful of the time. Let's really, participate as much as we can. And if I could add a couple more hours into the day to do that, I would probably do that as well. So
I love that. Empathy, enthusiasm, and the thing about moving more in this direction of remote work is everyone, we're all sort of these squares, and you can't see what I'm doing or how messy my desk is behind the square, and being able to maintain camaraderie. I love it. Fantastic answer. But tell me, one, is there such a thing as balance? And how do you do it?
Yeah, so I think the definition of balance is unique to each individual person. So I start out the week by sort of planning. For example, I like to take some time on Sundays and say, here's the kind of stuff I'm going to cook this week, because I want to make time to be able to actually, give everybody a home cooked meal. So if I plan for that, like what I'm going to do for the week, then I can have those things ready to go. So I don't have to worry when I'm super tired after working for 10 hours to go figure out what to make in the kitchen, as an example. Or I also like to plan in the week, like what are the things I must get done this week? What are the things that are top of mind? What does my leadership, commitments require from me this week? What specific tasks do I need to complete that I've committed to for projects for other people, for example. So I sort of create a list at the beginning of the week. These are the key things that I want to target and make sure I make time for. And then what time is left in the schedule? And then what does that flex time look like? And then I can be a little more flexible on how I want to, do those things.
I frequently do some talks with young women, and they're nervous. They've got anxiety around wanting to have a family and go
Mhm.
into fields like technology. Um,
Yes.
so it's great to hear the ways that you tackle it, starting with doing meal planning on Sundays, so that
Mhm.
if your days get late or they get busy, everyone is happy and their bellies are full.
Exactly.
I want to read a quote that I found, and then I want us to talk about it. Lady, please don't go through life trying to be small, silent, accommodating, and convenient as possible. Speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. Own your intelligence, beauty, and energy. Be fierce and unapologetic always. Now, I want to talk about imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
Is imposter syndrome something that you have ever experienced? And if so, right, how did you navigate your way through it? I have listeners
Mhm.
who may be experiencing this right now, and they want to know.
Mhm. I actually have a quote. Actually, I have a sticky right here on my. Okay, so I really love the very wise Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and so she says, "Fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you." And I really love that quote because I feel like we can be our authentic selves and we don't have to conform into what other people feel like our voices should be. I think we have our own unique voice, and it's important to bring that to the table. As it relates to imposter syndrome, I would be totally remiss if I said I've never felt that, because I 100% have felt that before. I work with incredibly talented people who have amazing experience, incredible degrees, like success stories that, it's intimidating sometimes. It's just frankly intimidating. But, when you take a step back and you realize like all of us had to sort of start somewhere, all of us had to start our path somewhere. And if we didn't fight for learning, fight for what we wanted, fight for our place at the table, we would be at square one. So it's 100% okay to be comfortable in your own skin and to say some things. When I'm a subject matter expert on something, I am never afraid to voice my opinion
Mhm.
about that. I am unapologetically me when it comes to us working on teams. And very frequently, especially earlier in my career, I was often the only woman in the room. Engineering team, I'm the only woman. I'm soft spoken comparatively speaking to maybe some others. Um, and, I would apologize often for just sharing my opinion, right? Not even like, disagreeing per se, but just sharing my opinion. And I had a mentor very early on who said, "Why do you do that? Like, why are you apologizing for having a difference of opinion? It's okay to have a different opinion. Like, that's why you're here. We want to hear everybody's opinion." So, I remind myself it's okay when you're the subject matter expert, when you know something, don't be afraid to share your knowledge. And also, on the same token, if you don't know something, it's okay to say that too. Nobody knows everything. Nobody
Nobody.
knows everything. So all of us have to learn every day. All of us have to learn. And the more I think, are genuine about that, I think the better.
For those who don't know anything about Oracle's cloud, can you tell us why the world needs Oracle Cloud, and how does Oracle separate itself from other clouds?
Yes, absolutely. Always happy to talk about Oracle Cloud. So for the last 2 years, I think as you mentioned in my bio, I have been working on OCI. I took enterprise workloads across the company. So you can imagine the complexity. We have everything from, the most complex enterprise applications and entire ecosystems or environments of things to just some standard development labs that we've shifted over. And the most amazing thing about the Oracle Cloud, I would say, is that we have products for every workload that you can think of. So we were able to use, in some cases, bare metal environments. So when we did not, when there wasn't like a way to virtualize simply, we could go bare metal and go just race, basically like a lift and improve is what I like to refer to that. Exactly, shift it over, but you're still getting some of those benefits of the cloud environments. But then, we also took advantage of SaaS platforms. We took advantage of autonomous database as an example. So moving things over. And in each of these cases, there were enormous gains in performance and availability and in cost savings. So I would say that's my number 2 point that I would make is, as far as efficiencies are concerned, as far as utilization capabilities and your ability as a customer to manage the environment. So your capabilities to be able to, once you've shifted your environments over, to be able to manage utilization. We've got tons of analytics that are built in to the platform, so you can be reactive and expand resources as you need for your maybe evolving business cycles, to shrinking them when maybe they're underutilized. The platform gives you all of those capabilities reactively and proactively, which I love. And the last item I would mention is security. So, security is top of mind for everyone all the time. People worry. That's probably the number one question I'm asked when I meet with customers is, how did you deal with, taking private, critical, highly confidential data and shift it over to the cloud in a way that your, company was, your security team signed off on this. And the way we did it is because every layer of OCI, you have security capabilities, from the most base layer of the way that you do your identity management and role access protection of who's actually logging in, to all the way up to the top layer where you can subscribe to services like CloudGuard, which allow you to protect the perimeter. So, you can manage it at each specific layer, at the tenancy layer, at the individual login user layer, at the application layer, at the perimeter layer. And that flexibility is, it really allows you to go, as detailed as you need to be based on the type of workloads that you have. So I think these are huge differentiating factors from some of our other competitors in the marketplace.
Friends, don't you feel so inspired by Christine? She is amazing. Next time she and I are in the same state, we might do a quick show where she does some cooking and baking with us. I want to thank Christine for taking time out of her super busy schedule to be with us today. Tune in next time for our next episode. There may be dancing involved in that one. Christine, your moves, they were it. You know where to find me: Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. And take some of Christine's advice. Be authentic, be fierce, be unapologetic.